Hello everybody, my name is Kevin Tao. A little bit about me is I like to go outside and I'm really enjoying running right now. I did a half marathon the other day. Real fun stuff. I'm majoring in IT at Metro State, so I'm a junior this year, so next year would be my last year. And this is my individual video project for Jennifer Grant's Cybersecurity 332 course. And let's begin. So my topic of choice was on focusing on AI technology and specifically on ChatGPT. I think the reason why I chose this was because it was very interesting to me, and I think that AI technology is going to be very big in the future, and I feel like ChatGPT is the footsteps of that. And I feel like this is just like the beginning of ChatGPT or AI technology in general, which I find pretty interesting. But yeah, so the title of this is ChatGPT, the technology of tomorrow. I couldn't get the present working with my recording my face at the same time. Just bear with me here. So to start, what is ChatGPT? So I found that it is a natural language processing tool driven by AI technology, an AI tool that helps aid in questions, assists with tasks, creating emails, essays, and code. So pretty much what that is, it's pretty much just an automated artificial intelligence tool that helps us with our daily things. That's like the total purpose. We can go on more about it later of what people actually use it for. I'm sure you know what I'm getting at. But pretty much the main purpose of AI technology is just to help us with our daily lives easier. It makes everything a lot easier. I know you've heard like the controversial topic of people saying AI is gonna take over the world or AI is gonna take over our jobs. And to be honest, I do have a little bit of belief in that. I do feel like sometimes maybe AI will take over like very simple jobs, just how like automated machines have in the past, which kind of scary sometimes just thinking about it. So, who created ChatGPT? So, before doing this project, I honestly didn't know who created it or if there was like a sole creator. So, what I found was a technology company whose goal is to build AI technology such as ChatGPT to change the AI technology. That was a mouthful. But pretty much what it is, it's a company that's focusing on AI technology and to develop it. So ChatGPT isn't the only thing that they're developing. Well, they are developing different versions of ChatGPT. It is also in its early stages where eventually it will become a subscription-based thing. I know there is like a subscription-based ChatGPT out there, but for now it's mainly free, and in the future you will be needing to pay for it, I believe so. And then so the company is called OpenAI. Its mission is to ensure that artificial general intelligence AI systems that are generally smarter than humans benefits all of humanity. I think when I read that, it's a bit intimidating because I've seen like all those movies in the past where AI technology or AI robots just take over the world, and it seems like their intentions in the beginning of the movie it's like very genuine. They want to help the human race, but eventually robots will take over the world. Just funny stuff. So I personally never used ChatGPT, so I wanted to just pretty much take a dive at it and see what happens with it. So what I did here, I performed 3 tests of ChatGPT. So the first one I performed was Ninja Gaiden. Ninja Gaiden is just a childhood game that I know so much about because I played it over and over and over. And I think the last time I played it was maybe this last year. And the thing is, this game got remastered a lot. And another thing was, this game originally came out in 2002. So this game is like fairly old. So I wonder what ChatGPT would say about Ninja Gaiden. Pretty much, if you don't want to read the description of like what ChatGPT had said, don't worry about it. I wouldn't either. And pretty much what I found that when I read this, it talks about the story, it talks about the gameplay, and it also talks about the difficulty of the gameplay, which really surprised me. I thought that it would mainly just talk about the story. I didn't expect it to talk about the gameplay and just pretty much the overall difficulty. I found it amazing that ChatGPT wasn't just mentioning that Ninja Gaiden is a game or like the year was created. It also mentioned the platforms it's ran on and just a lot more details than I expected, which really amazes me. Which now I can understand why people are so like hyped up about ChatGPT, which is a pretty interesting intake. All right. So for the second slide of the testing, so I tested out on a little bit more in depth of a question. So this question is, what is a MBA deferred enrollment? And I've been doing a little bit of research about MBA studies or deferred enrollment, and I know quite a bit about it at this point just because I've done my fair share of research. And pretty much all of the videos that I've accumulated of just watching and gathering info, this ChatGPT explanation of what MBA deferred enrollment is makes it very easy to understand and very easy to intake all this information that honestly took me like hours of like reading and watching videos on YouTube. So I thought that was pretty interesting. They ChatGPT makes the information a lot easier to process and to just read. I think ChatGPT also saves like a bunch of time and sharing pretty much the same amount of info. Obviously, ChatGPT isn't perfect, but I'd say it's a very, very efficient and great way of starting a new project or learning about something new because of just what it has to offer. I think that's pretty great. Oh, and I guess I should explain what a deferred enrollment is. So pretty much in your senior year of college, you would apply to grad school, and then if you get accepted into that program, you would work for 4 to 5 years, however long. Then you would attend grad school as long as you're accepted to that program in the beginning, and that's pretty much a deferred enrollment is. It's just basically doing the application process early, something I'm a little interested in. And the third test, which was more interesting one, so I just did a difficult math, no, not crazy difficult, but I just did a math SAT problem to see how it would react and to see if we can solve it. So pretty much what I did was I just found a, I think it was like a temperature multiple choice, SAT math multiple choice problem where it just talks about which is the best choice or if it's one or two choices. And pretty much what happened was it solved the problem step by step, determining if each prompt was true or false. And in the end, so the correct answer of the question was 1 and 2 are correct, as found on the website, and then ChatGPT said only 2 is correct. So I would say maybe it's the fact that I copy and pasted it a little weird into the ChatGPT prompt, but the answer is a little bit inaccurate. But to be fair, it might be just how the answer was copy and pasted into the chat box. So it could be that, but ChatGPT was wrong here. So AI isn't 100% there yet. Yeah, I think that was pretty interesting. So yeah, I think another thing to note is how efficiently ChatGPT is at solving a problem and how quick it is. And it makes you think about what other things that it can do for us, where we as humans take time to comprehend the problem, and now we need to learn how to solve it. But then since ChatGPT is like a computer, it's like automated, it just does things like that, and I think that's really cool, and I can't wait to see what that type of technology brings in the future. So this slide is pretty much just talking about if it's accurate or no. Kind of discussed that a little earlier. So yes and no, it was a little bit accurate and a little bit wasn't accurate. But overall, I'd say it was pretty accurate. But at the same time, it wasn't 100% accurate. So yes and no, kind of confusing there. But yeah. So AI technology still has a long way to go. And I totally resonate with that because AI technology isn't always going to be perfect, but it would always get better. I think that just kind of goes for everything, to be honest. But yeah, I think in the future, I talk about this a lot, but creating like robots and with AI technology is really cool. I saw this one video where made like parkour robots, and I thought that was really cool. So pretty much those robots were doing parkour on courses and overcoming obstacles at the same time by learning from mistakes, which was pretty cool. I am very impressed with ChatGPT. I think just creating AI in general is just very impressive work and just really awesome. Would I use ChatGPT? I think in the sense of learning something new, going somewhere different, like traveling. Like if I were to go to Wisconsin in a very unknown like city, or even Minnesota, like I went to St. Cloud over the weekend, so I would ask ChatGPT like, what can I do in St. Cloud, and St. Cloud, Minnesota, and ChatGPT would probably give me like a pretty good response of what is there to do in St. Cloud, Minnesota, that type of thing. I think that would be pretty great. Next slide. So what do others commonly use ChatGPT for? So assistance with schooling, learning about new things, traveling, quick information about something. So I kind of discussed this already, but since it was assistance with schooling, a lot of students like to use ChatGPT with creating essays. It's a lot of plagiarism, AI plagiarism, and then a lot of doing their homework as well. As we discussed about the ACT math problem, I'm sure they can like input their own problems and try to solve for that. And yeah, I think that's pretty interesting. But it's definitely a problem on the academia side of things, which we'll talk about this next slide. And I think the most interesting thing is just learning new things about it. In my previous tests that I created, I just think it's very cool how I'm very knowledgeable about the things I mentioned, but then just reading about it just saves a lot of that time that I spent learning it. So AI technology is just right now is just being proven to be really powerful and good. And then traveling, like I said, going somewhere new, just learning about quick informations about things or some things, which should be really great for you. Just learn like really quick things about the area. So we got this next slide. Edward Tian. So this guy, pretty interesting story about him. So he is 22 years old. I forgot to link the article of this. I will link this when I'm finished with this video. So Edward Tian, age 22. He's a student at Princeton University. He might have graduated by now, or graduating this year. And he's a student at Princeton, and the creator of GPT-0. So pretty much what this is, it's going to be, what it does is combat against the AI plagiarism, like I mentioned before. So pretty much think of this as like the anti-ChatGPT. What he stands for is academic integrity, which is great. And he pretty much built this application called GPT-0. So I guess he's like the CEO, founder of it. And it's pretty much catered towards professors and teachers around the world to detect AI plagiarism. And a lot of students are giving him a lot of backlash about it. But I see his side of things, and that totally makes sense to do that. And on TikTok, it's just been a very controversial topic. I think what he's doing is really brilliant and really, really different. And you have to be very bold and courageous to do that. So I respect that. So this slide talks more about ChatGPT or GPT-0, the anti-ChatGPT. So as I mentioned, it's a professor-teacher tool to combat against AI plagiarism. The application has over 7 million users, and the main purpose of it is the cheating in school part. So it's just to prevent cheating using AI plagiarism. And yeah. I'd say in conclusion, ChatGPT is a powerful tool, the beginning of the new era for AI, as I mentioned earlier, piquing the interest of others. And what I mean by that is a lot of people on TikTok have been like very interested in AI, and I believe that has a lot to do with ChatGPT. It really inspires a lot of CS students to create or try to mimic applications such as these. And a lot of third-party companies like to try to mimic ChatGPT and create their own software like that. And that kind of just goes for everything, like how a lot of companies or really small companies create phones that replicate an iPhone or like the new Samsung. And I feel like a lot of companies are trying to copy ChatGPT just like that, which pretty interesting. And sparking creativity, the technology of tomorrow. I think I think that's like pretty interesting and awesome about ChatGPT. As I mentioned, I feel like this is just the beginning of a new era for ChatGPT or just AI technology in general. Well, this is my presentation. Thank you for watching if you made it this far, and I hope everybody that is a student that's watching this is having a great semester and a great ending to it. And thank you, Jennifer, for me being your course. Thank you. Bye.